1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to Captive Conversations. I'm your host, Adam from Captive Wi-Fi. Join us as we dive into behind-the-scenes stories of hospitality leaders exploring tech, operations, and marketing through the eyes of the experts. Let's get the inside scoop together. Hello, everyone. This is episode 20. We are double digits. I'm in absolute shock that we're here. I have the pleasure today in the podcast studio / my office, Ruben from Como. So give everyone a wave and then a virtual wave for everyone else who does watch, because some people do watch.
Yeah,
some people watch on YouTube.
I do watch.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, but some people listen as well on the way into work. So we're trying to make it how it is. Episode 20, super excited, and we've worked together for a while, which is cool. I think Como was probably our third integration, I think, as a need to get done.
Right.
And that was amazing. So I'm really excited for this one to learn more and talk more about Como.
Yeah,
because you're like the hidden piece behind everyone. They're like, yeah. And what do you use for loyalty? And I use Como. We can talk more about it. But just a couple of questions to start with. The last guest was Tommy from Honest Burgers, and his question was, what partner or platform that you've recently used has provided the best support, aftercare, or customer service?
Right. So before I start asking the question, thank you very much for having me here.
You're welcome.
First of all, I'm loving it. You treated me really well, so really recommend it for everyone who wants to join Adam. And for the software, so we use Front App, which is an emailing system. I love using them, but when it comes to best support, PandaDoc is a software that we use to create proposals and then agreements, stuff like that. So since I've got new people in my team now, they were very supportive when setting them up, helping them, setting them up. I think we used to use Adobe or EchoSign, but it was back in the day. It's really clunky and not the best. Right.
And I think there's a lot better signing, especially you want to get someone onboarded quickly, right?
Yeah.
And clients to sign contracts.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've seen plans, but they've been around for a while actually. So
they have, yeah. So we used to use DocuSign in my previous life, in my previous company, and they're very similar. But PandaDoc is very, very intuitive. So I'm very pleased with them. They answer questions very fast as well, and they are very accommodating to your needs. So I love them.
Nice. Okay. And then this is an interesting one because you are a vendor. What frustrates you the most with tech vendors?
Okay. So that's an interesting question, actually. I'd say this industry is moving really fast. So not all vendors adapt to this fast pace of this industry. So when it comes to building integrations, improving integrations and stuff like that, I think that can be quite frustrating, especially because we in Como, we depend on the integration to work well.
Yes.
And if some part of the integration hasn't been built or is not working well, then it affects directly the way Como performs. So most of our partners, they support Como 100% with all the features. It's just some of them that we have issues here and there. So I believe that's what frustrates me the most. It's just making...
I guess not everyone... I spoke to this about Christian at Tenzo. Not everyone is open. They say they're open.
Yeah.
And they say, yeah, I'd love to integrate. And the big client comes to you and the big client goes to them. And then that happens. Then both teams are building stuff, or they're building into you.
Yes.
I mean, your API, we built into you. It's is a pretty easy platform to plug into, to be honest. There are others that's taken us months to do. And I think we did Co in about a week. So that was pretty awesome. But challenges of POS providers, for example, who say they're fully open and then you get stuck with that of going through. So that I think that some of the newer ones are definitely open.
Yes,
but some of the older ones,
for us, so we have more than 150 integrations, right? So again, most of them support everything, but not all of them. And the ones that are strategic for us, they do support everything, or they are keen to support everything. It's just sometimes you find the old ones, as you say, they say, right, this is it, that's what the integration does, and we don't want to keep on working on it, right? This is a
so basically, you set it can do this. And then if you want more, have a chat with them, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, nice.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're on to the standard questions. And question one is your best hospitality experience.
Okay, so I'd say from a tech perspective, McDonald's, I think they have a pretty good and strong tech stack. However, that's for a QSR. For a TSR, I think I like the balance. So when I go to a restaurant, we were talking about this before the podcast started. I like this human touch at some point, and I think it has to do because I'm from Spain, as you can potentially hear, all of you. I think technology takes a little bit longer to settle as you go down in Europe and then you hit the Mediterranean countries.
Yeah.
Right. I think we are more like I'd say human oriented in a way, and we are like where I come from. We struggle to get to order from a table, for example. So, for example, places like Turtle Bay that they have the best of both worlds, so they come to serve you at the table.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind paying, but ordering is something I struggle with. I got used to it during the pandemic.
Yeah.
However, I was missing quite a lot of this human touch, and now every time I go to a restaurant, I think I like that bit. So I'd say Turtle Bay has done that pretty well because they enable you to do pretty much anything. So it gives you the choice.
Okay, so
and I like that. I like
the
that.
flexibility rather than being pushed to order on queue.
Exactly. Not one thing or another. I think you should have both. I think.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of the guys I work with is an AV guy. He's an old school boy, right? And he doesn't like the fancy stuff. He doesn't like when someone comes to the table with a device to order and stuff. He likes to have a conversation.
Yes.
So I said to him, you can still have the conversation, and then they'll just write it in there, you know. So he's very slow adoption. But Tommy from Honest was here last week, and he was in France and a little just outskirts, a little village. And he was like, the owner there knows everyone.
Right.
Like, you come once, he knows everyone. There's none of this fancy technology. You place the order, it's in his head.
Yes.
Straight done, food comes, everything's perfect. And it's that little piece of like looking after you.
Right.
I think that is quite definitely very different when you go outside the UK.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. I like that approach as well. I think you can use technology to have the best of both worlds, right? So, but you shouldn't lose the human touch, at least the way I see it, especially because when you go out to dine somewhere or to have lunch or something, the experience is much more than just the food.
Yeah.
I think it's this interaction with someone. Right?
Yeah.
So, but hey, that's me.
Okay.
I don't know if
we will have to send is best hospitality tech, and you can't say yourself.
Okay, so I'll say Sentiment Search is a product that I love. I love Pretty as well. Hi Pretty, if you watch it. They have an amazing product. Every time I see it, and I've seen it a few times, it really blows my mind. And every time I speak to him, every time he shows me the product, it's something new coming up. And now it's very AI oriented. And like answering reviews is by the way, reviewing software. So for customer reviews, customer feedback and things like that. And I think spot on the way he does it. I think you, Adam, you know them as well. So
yeah, I can agree. I think the nice piece with their platform is that, I mean, we got introduced to them a year and a bit ago, and the client said to me, yes, we spoke to a few other providers, and they were all like 3 to 4 week onboarding.
Right.
And we spoke to Prithi, and he said, this is the dashboard. This is the dashboard, and it's live. And I was like, what do you mean? He said it was live. He goes, it was ready.
Right.
And there was no 3-4 weeks onboarding and then, you know, understanding this, understanding that. It was ready to go.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. And that's what, and then we obviously spoke to him. We've just built something into him as well, actually. So for us, but yeah, it's a nice product. It's solution. He's doing some really cool stuff. And also we came in the other day and we talked about, he's got a CFO. So he said, if it was him, he'd be like, I want to do everything. I want to do everything. I want to do the world. Right. And he's like, my CFO's like, we're going to do this. This is what we're going to do. Just this. So it's actually quite nice because it's helped him keep that product stable and grounded.
Yes.
And so on. I think. But yeah, I mean, if you look at his website, I think he needs more of a carousel now because it's crazy.
Well, the thing is, he's winning everybody. So he's putting every brand there.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. I love it. I love his attitude. I love his energy.
Yeah.
And I love the product, especially.
No, it's good. It's good. Are you plugged in? So you do? Yeah. How's that working?
It's going really well.
Yeah. How does it work with the plugin? Is it
it's a webhook?
Yeah.
So we exchange information. So for example, if you go and place an order, then we send Sentiment Search the order, and then he can send you a personalized review, right, based on what you've ordered.
Yeah.
And
then you can ask questions on each item.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, sweet.
Exactly. That's what they can do.
Yeah. That's why you like them so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to go to the questions, which is a guideline that I sent you. So we're going to just talk about your route into
tech, really. Your route into hospitality tech. We're going to go. I keep saying this. Go back in time
it's back
from
in
the
time,
beginning.
for sure.
You know, I have to give a shout out to ChatGPT because literally I've been using it recently. I don't use it all the time, so I edit some of the questions, but I do love it because it does put out some nice ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, literally, as it says here, to be fair, it says that you moved to Spain from the UK to initially prove your English.
Yeah.
Where is that on your? Where is that? Is that on your LinkedIn? Because I couldn't even find that. I was like, how did you find that?
I don't know where you found that. That's true. But I moved to the UK from Spain to learn English. I mean,
Yeah.
to improve my English. I knew a little bit of English, but not much.
Yeah.
So I finished my degree, and back then, that was almost 13 years ago. There was this economic crisis, 2008, and that still dragged on in Spain, and there was nothing to do. Well, I studied business administration, so there was nothing to do in Spain, and I thought, okay, what's next? Right after this, there was no jobs or anything, so I said, okay, well, let's go learn English. So the best way was to immerse myself in the culture, and the idea was staying here for 6 months. Right? So, yeah.
What happened?
It was 6 months. Yeah, good question. I guess a woman happened.
Yeah.
But not only. Also, a job happened, and a career started. So I started working in hospitality. I started selling ice creams.
Okay.
Yeah, in a cone, in a cup.
Yeah.
Strawberries, chocolates, all the flavors. That's
Was
how
it gelato or was it ice cream?
There's gelato.
Oh, nice. There you go. That's a bit better, right? Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I used to work in Westfield
Okay.
shopping center.
Yeah.
For a
Which
little
one?
while.
The Stratford or the?
No, the one in Shepherd's Bush.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then somebody from Barclays Bank. So in hospitality, back then at least, I think now staffing is an issue
Massive.
right now in the UK. But
Yeah.
before, it was like the rotation was massive. And people were leaving, and there was nobody to fulfill the supervisor position. So as a supervisor, I had to go to the bank quite often. And I'm a person that likes to talk to everybody.
Yeah.
That was the way to learn English as well. It was my objective.
Yeah.
Right. So I became friends with the people in the bank. The people in the bank said, hey, it was a Barclays Bank, by the way. Why don't you come work with us? And I said, well, listen, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
And they said, don't worry, we'll help you. We'll help you like getting in. We'll refer you. So they referred me.
Nice.
Yeah. And then my manager in the bank,
Yeah.
who is my friend today, he found a job in a POS company. And she said to me, listen, if I like it and if I'm happy in a year time, I come look for you. And one day I was working in the bank and he came to the door and he said, hey, you want to work with me? Because I think you will be good at this. And I said, okay, yeah, let's do it. So that's how it started, right? So this passion for hospitality started when I was working in the ice cream gelato place.
Yeah.
And then it continued because I think technology is something you can't avoid these days, right? So working, like mixing the both worlds, technology and hospitality is something that is, again, unavoidable, but something that I personally love, right? Like the way technology is helping hospitality to grow, to improve, to be more efficient. This is how it started. Then in the POS company, just to finish the story, I sell Como when I was in the POS company.
That was Revel, right?
I was Revel
Because I've worked with Revel for ages. I don't remember you
right
at Revel. Did we speak at Revel? Hold on.
Possibly you spoke to my bosses there. I don't know.
That's
Maybe.
strange.
Yeah.
Who was your boss?
So at some point there was somebody called Mal was kind of my boss. Mal is the person that brought me in the company.
Oh, okay. I remember now.
Mal Elvitigala.
Yeah.
From Sri Lanka.
I remember him because I'm going to digress into your story a bit.
Yeah.
I emailed Revel years ago. I mean, I'm talking about before they were here. I did the same thing with Toast, and they were like, "We're never coming to the UK." And then Revel were like, "We might come."
Right.
And then Christoph and Angus Storkit had their
Bluebird.
Yeah, Bluebird, right? And they were doing Revel as well.
Yep.
And then Woody came over to bring. He was the first person to work for Revel here.
So you spoke to Woody?
Yeah.
Right. So as he left, I started. So then there was like a gap with the management.
Yeah.
And then somebody else came, somebody from South Africa. I can't remember his name, but it was there for a short period of time as well. And then Mal became like kind of my leader.
Yeah.
In Revel. And then somebody called Ahmad Dabas came from the US to lead us all. And that was the most successful part of my journey in Revel until I left, until I saw Como and I decided to join Como, which was it blew my mind, since day one. So that's why.
To be fair, back then, I mean, when was that? What year was that?
So that was 2017.
Yeah, and to be fair, no one was really doing anything like it.
Yeah.
At all. Like I can't remember. There were the starting of ordering apps and that sort of jazz, but it was slow, and there was nothing. I mean, there were lots of CRMs out there, but there was still. I'm trying to remember. I don't think there was anything. I think you were probably.
Yeah.
Were you the first? I mean, there were apps being built by other people.
Was Yo-Yo Wallet before?
Yeah. Of course.
So Yo-Yo was our biggest competitor. Then I think
Yes.
Five Loyalty was also there. But yeah, Como started as an app making company.
Yeah.
Right? So it wasn't really a CRM. It had like some CRM capabilities. It had like loyalty capabilities. But it started as an app making company. So anybody who wanted to use Como had to go with an app.
Yeah.
Right? And I am very skeptical about apps myself. And we sell apps, right? I think it made sense in the past, but now there are other tools that customers can use rather than push customers to use an app.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I think it's very different nowadays. But okay, so you went from. So how did you find Revel? How did you find Como? Sorry, how did you find them?
So somebody from Revel, from Como, came to present Como.
Yeah.
To Revel.
You were like,
Yeah, and I was like, wow, I love this. I love this. And then sometime after, one of my colleagues joined Como. Then a second colleague joined Como.
Yeah.
And then I saw them happy, and I thought, okay, right, this must mean something. They're building something here.
yeah.
And they did, and we did.
Yeah.
So yeah, to who we are today is very, very different. So Como was starting.
So it was mainly app. It was mainly the app basically, and what loyalty app as well.
It was a loyalty app mainly, yeah, with some CRM capabilities, but yeah, nothing to like what it is today.
Yeah.
There is way more.
Okay. So what was your role when you started at Como? What was
Sales and partnership manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And
Yeah,
it's the same. What's the role now? Is it
As VP of sales.
so?
You get business development. Yeah.
Nice, amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. And so you've obviously seen it change. You've seen the whole landscape change, right? Obviously, there was COVID and others and changes
Yeah.
and expansions and so on. I think it's how did you see the Como platform change? Like when did obviously there's been investments and everything else, and we'll go into that later.
Yep.
What was the trajectory of the platform? Because obviously it was an app system
Yep.
with a bit of loyalty. When did that change?
So I guess it was a journey. It didn't happen overnight. We listened to a lot of customer feedback. We wanted to improve. We wanted to see what people wanted. And we eventually changed the whole back office. We changed the whole... So how things are set up in Como today are very different to how they used to be, right? Now it's very intuitive, and now it's almost like coding.
Yeah.
Like it's like saying, if a customer does something, then how does the business want to react? And that's something it means. Like it can be placed in an order, it can be connection to the Wi-Fi. It could be anything. It could be reading an email. It could be clicking on a link of an email.
Yeah.
It could be anything of anything.
So the triggers can do anything.
Exactly. So I don't like to say that we do everything.
Yeah, I
right?
get it.
But we're very flexible. That is the pure truth. Right?
Yeah.
So that is, and the thing is, whenever I show customers what we can do in Como, they tend to say, right, they drop the jaws and say, wow, this is really cool. It's much more than we actually can dream of.
Yeah. I think that's a lot with just loyalty generally, because it's a big word right now. Everyone's talking about it, aren't they? It's like it's a buzzword, you know.
Yes,
and there's lots of people that say they do it, but they don't. There's lots of people that are fake loyalty, but they don't do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mentioned the other day we were talking this about earlier actually about adoption and should you need to, because you mentioned earlier, should you need to be able to roll into loyalty or have to do the scan of the QR or I mentioned earlier about the receipt, scanning the receipt. And I mentioned this the other day actually. I went to the Ivy in St Albans, and near St Albans is Hatfield Catering College,
Right.
and you get the best. They basically pick the best of breed people out of the college into there, so you get the best experience. You got these young kids who are like desperate to show how amazing hospitality is.
Yeah.
So I love that restaurant, because literally whenever you go there, you're looked after like a king.
Right.
Because I think they then take them and send them around. And that's what I was told anyway. Anyway, I went there the other day. Waiter was like ridiculously amazing. I mean, this guy was like freaking, he knew everything. He must have memorized the whole bloody menu. It was awesome. It was so good. Food was nice. And so I was like, okay, so I've booked an over table.
Yep.
I connected to the Wi-Fi, whoever they use. And then obviously they have contracts. So there's 3 touch points. So my data is got into the till system, but then I've got downloaded app.
Yeah.
And then I've got to scan the I don't go there all the time.
Right.
So I had to scan the app and then scan the QR code, and then my app had offloaded Because nowadays, all iPhone will offload the app if you don't use it often.
Yes.
So I was a bit like, fine.
Yeah, see, that's
I think the touch that we talked about, one of the touches loyalty, and it's about the integrations you mentioned, right? So if you booked, you can send the information in. If you connect to the Wi-Fi, you can send. So if the customer's been.
Yes.
So it's about the integration is an important piece.
Exactly. And the interaction with the customer can happen anywhere. It can happen at the till, it can happen at the Wi-Fi, it can happen anywhere. So the more footprint that you capture, the better it is, right? And the easy for the customer, because I work for a customer engagement and loyalty solution.
Yeah.
However, I'm a customer more often than not as well, right? So I go to hospitality businesses, I have dinner with my family. So the easier they make it, the more engaged I will become. Right, and this is, I think, it's a trend, right? If you're saying, for example, in your the example you gave, that you had 3 touch points and then they made you download an app and so on, right? It kind of loses you. Yeah. Right. So.
And I know that you can book through apps and stuff, and I know that you can, that you can make it look nice, but I just, I felt a little bit, you know what I mean? And then, if you connect to the Wi-Fi and it plugs into your platform and you get a text message or you get an email and then you're welcome and whatever it might be, or it pulls you order on the table or you pay for your bill, the data flows into the platform, right?
Correct.
So there's so many different touch points, as you said, or footprints, as you said.
Yep.
It shouldn't be hard. And I think sometimes that is hard for different platforms out there. Listen, don't get me wrong, the Ivy app looks beautiful. It's beautiful. You can do loads with it. It's a great tool. I think there's obviously lots out there. But I think the question is, as you were previously, as you said, an app company. Yeah. Question for you is, do you find that more people are wanting the wallet? The wallet, and not the app.
100% the wallet. Yeah. It depends on the country. It depends on the market. Now, I'd say in the Middle East, I think the app is a big thing.
Yeah.
Also in the Middle East, in the US. US is not a market that I personally work on, but we have a big team in the US. But we found that identifying yourself with a phone number.
Oh yeah. In the US and in the UAE, it's all about SMS. It's crazy.
I don't get it.
No, I hate getting.
I don't get it. In my opinion, it's too intrusive. I think an SMS, also WhatsApp, should be only used when you think that the customer has been disengaged.
Yeah.
Right, and then give it a go. And that's it. But I think...
but SMS has been around in the US for years. I mean, it wasn't... my friend lived there for a little while, and he was in the taxi texting on his phone. Yeah. And the guy's, look, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm just sending a message, like a text message. What's a text message? So that's weird. Like, I think we see, I keep saying this all over and over, Australia seems to be a little bit ahead of the game when it comes to tech and adoption. And now seeing that UAE is like super high on adoption, you show them something fancy and everyone's like, I want it. Yeah. And then it comes to us and it comes to the US. Like contactless and the swipe cards are still there. Yeah. Not everyone has got Apple Pay. More and more is happening now. Toast is everywhere. Yeah. So that helps. But I find it's weird how the adoption is. And also the funny thing you were talking about a QR, and I bet you this the other day. We had Lawrence from Redcat, LP from Redcat, and he was like. He was also saying that if you go into a restaurant, there's no QR code to order, they get angry. Yeah. Because before COVID, it was adopted. Yes. It was widely adopted. And then so it was just normal. It was normal to have. And over here, it's a bit like people see it and go, or I see it and I'm like, I want to get going. Yeah. But at dinner, I guess, depends on the venue.
It depends on the venue, depends on the person. Yeah. Well, right. So my wife, for example, she loves apps. She loves ordering through technology. Yeah. But she's from Poland. Yeah. Maybe that's why as well, because this is what I was talking about, the human touch as well, right? Yes. So it depends on the person, definitely. I think the more options a business gives, the better it becomes, right? Because everybody will be.
I like that. I do like that, actually. It's a nice piece that it should be mentioned, that give the customer the choice.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think we've got some high-end clients and we say to them, just switch it on for drinks. If someone wants a glass of champagne.
For ordering.
Yes. Just for ordering. Not even paying, just ordering, drinks. Just start with drinks. If that works.
Just reordering it, right? Yeah. If you want another glass of something, right? Just make it easy for them.
Yeah. I think that's a challenge. The amount of money people make on like the percentage you make on alcohol specifically, not that it's a huge trend anymore on it, but we go, there's not always enough staff there to see.
Yes, true.
So I think if you can give them the tools and doesn't seem too intrusive. I think that's what it is. I think if it's a nice way of doing it and they explain it easily,
It's finding the balance.
yeah,
Definitely.
it's hard. It's hard.
It is.
We literally have so many clients. We'd rather have that personal touch.
Yes.
And we have other clients who like you said, we want to give the customer the choice.
Yes.
So it's a weird one. Okay. So partnerships. So you start with partnerships?
Yep.
And then what was the goal? To find or to manage? Because you've got a lot of, I mean, you said how many integrations?
So we have 150 integrations now.
And then obviously there's other partners as well. So there's not just that. You've got there's consultants out there too, right?
No, but it's mainly software companies.
Yeah.
We have some consultants. We have some marketing agencies like Vic.
Yeah.
Data Hawks. We love working with them, by the way.
They are crazy good.
Yeah, they're really, really good. They utilize the tool really well, and it's just really worth it.
Shout out to Vic. Well done. Their team's expanding. Her brain is just crazy. And we've got a couple of clients that use them as well. And the view on how it should be, not the templates, but the view on how the system should work.
Yeah.
It's very different.
How they the data, how they push the data, how they utilize the data.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So you started straight in partnerships.
Yeah.
So that was
straight
straight in.
themselves. It's
Yeah.
both.
Oh, but okay,
it's
fine.
Both. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how many people back then were here?
In the UK, working in Como.
When you started?
That was around 12.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it shrunk.
Yeah.
Quite a lot. So now we have operations in Dubai.
Yeah.
We have a team now in the UK. And now since we are a global payments company, we have offices pretty much everywhere. So we have an office now in London. We have an office in Leicester.
Yeah.
As well. And with the networking with global.
Was it Global Payments? So who brought you first? Because was it Global Payments that first bought them, or was it someone else before? I don't remember.
So it was someone else before, a
Yeah.
few years ago. So the reseller that then became the CEO, the Como CEO, was reselling Como in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And then he took over the whole thing with a bunch of investors.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So that's why it's a big pyramid. You've got a lot of people out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting. Nice team. I've spoken to them. They're a great bunch.
Yeah, 100%.
They're really helpful.
And then last year we were acquired by Global Payments, and things are going really well. Actually, typically in acquisitions you don't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
Right. But in this case, they didn't only keep everybody. They made that expand, and we're growing like never before.
That's amazing.
So that's great. Yeah.
Well, the obviously the difference is I guess you see they see the value in it as well, right?
They do.
So, question. I mean, okay. So now is the team expanding throughout? As in,
yeah. So we just hired 2 people, one based in Dubai, one based in the UK.
Nice.
So it's definitely expanding. It's also organically. It's not like we're not pushing the boundaries or anything.
No, good.
It's just
So are you as the company expands, you're feeling that there's more need for additional team?
Definitely.
Good. Okay.
So
good.
before I was just by myself.
Yeah.
In the UK, right, handling.
That's it.
Very lonely. It's very, very lonely. No, actually,
Ruben was just being run everywhere. Partners and clients.
yeah, it was tricky because there was so much to do. And last year was our most growing year.
Okay, nice.
In any territory.
Wow.
In this region, so things started to slip through my fingers.
Yeah.
And then
There's only so much you can do for what you can do, right?
pretty much. We had the choice. We had to really hire people, and I think more will come next year.
Nice.
We'll see how things go. But so far, touch wood, things are going really well.
Yes.
But the thing is, it's easy to operate in any. You can adapt. With any time zone you're on, because we have clients in Australia, we have clients in the US. We have clients
They're
everywhere.
actually sat quite nicely, I guess, aren't they?
Exactly.
So that, as you're right, the time zone is pretty nice.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's pretty clever.
Yeah. And they work UK hours, they work US hours.
Yeah.
So we have less
Less.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, they do quite well, actually. They love it. Because the thing is, the company adapt to people's needs, right? So if you need to be with your kids, for example, in the day, then you placed in US hours, and then you work.
Oh, that's so nice.
We try. Yeah, it's a very nice company, honestly.
I guess if you have clients in so many different territories and you have the option to work late, if you want to work late or work early. Okay, so Global Payments,
Yeah.
are they guiding you, or are they letting you get on with it, or are they like, oh, we're a payments company, we can, I don't know if you're able to, in my mind is, oh my God, there's a credit card system that could potentially plug into loyalty. My brain goes straight to that. So
I'll talk about that after.
yeah, we can talk about that after. Okay.
But that's coming up.
Yeah, so okay, fine. So you went into partnerships and sales, the team's grown.
Yep.
And now Global Payments are there, but they're letting you grow yourself.
Yes.
So they're not the overarching, because everyone's like, I mean, you say global payments and it scares the bejesus out of me because I hear it and I go, as a payments company, they're pretty old school. Technology takes forever because, you know, like payment terminals take like 6 years to get PCI compliant. So my brain goes straight to, I've still seen some old, you know, global payments devices that the client hasn't. It's not global payments' fault because the client doesn't want to upgrade, but the old style, you know, Ingenico global payments that are still there.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously now there's lots of better devices out there, you know, and so on.
Things with global payments, they are we are leading them in a way.
Nice.
On this, yeah, that's because we know what we do. Right, we've done this for a while.
Yeah.
We failed. In a few places that we changed, so we have the experience. So they are not, you know,
A little bit higher if you can. On the
sorry,
there we go. Thanks.
Sorry, that's right. They are not really telling us anything. They're asking us what we need in order to grow, and then we give them the guidelines. We say, right, this is what we are. That's what we're gonna be.
Yeah.
They've been pretty cool. Pretty cool. Normally,
So they basically let you continue on.
Yeah.
So is there a flow now of where they're going to try and introduce Como in? Have they already started to introduce Como into their client base?
yes,
Amazing.
especially in the US. That started in the US because they are the biggest market, and it is also our biggest marketing.
So are they one of the biggest providers in the US?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. International, I think, is a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah, it's huge.
No, it's
I mean, I
massive.
don't know them because we you know, we have loads of clients that have global payments, but
Yeah.
in the UK, you know, there are others out there like Dojo, which I'll mention, who are like hunkering down on as much as they can.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've never seen anything like it.
Right.
And there's loads popping up now because there's Adyen.
Yes.
So now there's Adyen that's saying, I mean, I could tomorrow become a payment provider. Hey, I've created something. You know, I've got, you know, speak to a couple of clients, charge them nothing. And how are they, well, I don't know if you know, but how are they feeling on that end? Because the POS providers now want to be a payment provider. There's Toast that uses Adyen here and so on. So, you know,
interesting.
and everyone, it's weird.
So global payments, at least, is super open. So we are exploring integrations with other payment providers. They're not against it, right? As long as we grow, they're fine with it. And you know, it's
That's
freedom.
Nice. That's nice to know. It's not just, you know, if someone. So that's nice.
A lot of flexibility. The freedom I had before, in almost startup, now being part of corporate, that freedom stays there.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've got like maybe other restrictions on certain things, but it's almost unnoticeable. It's been a great experience, a great journey. AGN may come up at some point as well very soon.
Yeah.
Right. From an integration perspective.
Yeah.
Because this tokenization that you're talking about.
Yes.
Is something I'm very excited about because this is something we're working on right now.
Oh, amazing.
We see it as the future.
It
right?
is.
Because
Yeah.
you're paying with a card, right? Always.
Yeah.
Whether that is on your phone, it's a card. So that is a touch point that even if the customer doesn't tell you who they are, you know that person is the same as the one that came yesterday.
Yeah.
Even if you don't keep any personal details. Right, so
it is huge.
It's huge.
I think the people. I mean, listen, there's Square, right? So Square have done it for years. Where you go to terminal and it just pops up saying join loyalty. You type in your mobile number.
Yeah.
And forevermore, it's very basic. It's not great loyalty, but at least there is a way of linking that card. And there's Square Mural that created their loyalty platform using Fidel.
Yes.
And Fidel that you have to put your credit card number in, which people don't really want to do. But if you could find a way of having the terminal, and then linking that to your link Como,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it really is.
That's the thing. It's
not giving the customer not only because you've got integration to deposit anyway, but you're giving the customer more data.
Yeah.
So I went to a thing the other day. I don't remember where it was, and they were talking about their payments, and they were saying that all in one, and they know you know how well you've done with reservations because you've got a res system, right? You know how well you've done with the Wi-Fi because people connect to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But then, you think you've done well because people are buying X on the menu.
Yes. But not only that, you know that person, let's say person A, that uses this token, this card, comes, I don't know, on Tuesdays for lunch, and Thursdays for dinner.
Yeah.
Right? So you know the trend of your marketing, how it should be.
Yeah.
Right? Because people behave in a specific way where on Tuesdays they have lunch and on Thursdays they have dinner.
Yeah.
Right? That's some specific people, so you know how to market, even if you don't know who they are.
Yeah.
At some point you will. If you promote a loyalty scheme and it goes well, then at some point you will know who they are.
Yeah.
But you know the trends, right?
Yeah, and that's the important piece. It's those trends. So, funnily enough, years and years ago, we did some work for. We were brought in. I'm talking like 10, 15 years ago. It's a long time ago. We were asked to come in and have a chat, and we spoke to the guys at Rocker, and we actually work with Rocker now, which is really funny.
Right.
But we spoke to them, and
Rocker,
they were
the
like
Japanese restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is years. I'm talking years ago. We talked to the finance team, and they were like, and then nothing was integrated back then. It was all very like credit card on the side, and they were like, we want to know, is there a way of finding out who if this person comes in X day, blah, 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 walk-ins.
Yes.
And they literally had to go, they went manually through all the credit card machine receipts of that just that week.
Well,
and they put, of the actual receipt of the credit card, they put them all in a pile. And they found there was a huge pile of just one person.
Yeah.
And she'd come in like every 2 or 3 days come in. And the spend would be different. So they made a point to have a look at that and the reservations. Right. And it turned out that she was a regular. And someone knew her from the front desk, but didn't really know who they were because they sort of just walked in. There was no reservations.
Right.
And they went up to her and they had a chat with her, and they were saying, oh, we'd love to give you, would you come back? And other times, actually, I might come back, blah, blah, blah. And that was that interaction that helped them spur on. That was like manual loyalty.
Right.
And taking it to where you are now with integration, as you said, the token.
Yes.
You can find out who, theoretically, in a roundabout way, you can sort of find out who they are, because if you've got the integration, you've got the POS, and you've got the table number, and if the res is integrated,
yes,
you sort of know who they are then, right? You know who the bill payer is.
But you've got to be careful though.
Oh no, of course. They have to opt in.
Yeah, exactly.
But GDPR, like now, you can still have that data, but not do anything with it. You can still have that data and say, and when they come in, you can speak to them.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? You don't have to say, oh, you bought this steak last time. But I think moving forward,
you're a customer 49222.
Exactly. You're that token.
You're a number.
Yeah. I'm going to stamp it on you now. But I think the possibilities of what's coming up
100%.
Awesome.
Yes.
And it's weird because I spoke to we mentioned Woody.
Yeah.
Woody now works for a payment company in Australia.
Right.
Called MX51. And in Australia, loyalty is all really done by the card.
Right.
Which is really interesting. And I think the rules of regulations might be a little bit lighter.
Right.
Over there than over here. I don't know. But a lot of loyalty of theirs done by card loyalty.
Right. It is the future. I think it is the future. At least one.
I want to go into QSR. I want to pay and I want to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have to scan when I thingy.
And I get it. If you have a coffee for free, right? Like you have that 1 in 10 times.
Yeah.
But the other 9, you just accumulate in loyalty.
Yeah.
So if you just pay and leave, it's not the end of the world, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't have anything to use.
Just think of the amount of it blows my mind of what you're going to be, what the product you have will be able to do with actually once you be able to tie that together.
It is,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whether the global payments thing would just say add your phone number in. Do you know what I mean? Do you want to join like a little pop up? Because most of them like the Android terminals now anyway, aren't they? Right? That's what they do.
Yeah.
So to add a little Como app in the terminal, smiling, add a little Como app in the terminal potentially, or adding a loyalty app in there, whether it be even their own loyalty app that's yours. Could be like mind blowing.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And the steps to join. Wouldn't it be awesome wouldn't it be awesome? This is like a dream. This is my dream. You sit down, you go pay. They know who you are because the person you're booking will be potentially on the credit card machine. If it's you, is this you got the names, but you got the head booker.
Yeah.
So you assume the head booker would be paying, and they said, would you join loyalty? And I book it, so I'd probably pay the bill. And then I just say yes.
Yes.
I don't have to type anything in because it's all there.
Yeah, exactly.
And that for me would be
just link.
Yeah, it's like touchless basically.
Yep.
But even could you, if you opted in? Okay.
The thing is, potentially you can even get all the historical data.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh.
Potentially. So you can start building that trend even before you accept anything.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, it has to be on the terms and conditions.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to accept. Imagine being able to retrieve whatever you've done.
Wow. You're blowing my
linking
mind.
it to Adam.
You are blowing my mind.
This is amazing. This is how I see the future.
Yeah.
It's early stages for us.
Yeah.
But this is
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because then it's literally your token ID is then linked and everything in the past gets pulled in.
Yeah.
That's mental. But, I mean, the thing is that I don't know. I mean, surely if you connect to the Wi-Fi and you opt into the terms of whatever their privacy policy is, and it says in that privacy policy,
potentially,
you could do that, theoretically, or even on booking, you accept terms and conditions, and we auto enroll you into loyalty. You can unsubscribe at any time. And that could potentially, because you've got the payment information.
Yes.
I think there are easy ways of doing it. I think it's a bit scary.
It is actually, but this is what the world is going to at the moment. It's just the data. Data is there. People will use it. If you don't, you will fall behind. It is what it is.
So interesting.
Yeah.
I've spoken to other providers before. So Adyen obviously does has it, and obviously V2 uses Adyen and others for it, and it's so interesting. I saw a colleague of mine has a pass company, and he showed me a really cool. I think I might have sent it to you. The on pay, it shows you it checks if there's a wallet.
What's the name?
Pass it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was really clever. But I mean, that's just an Adyen integration.
Yeah.
And others probably can do it too. And it was really clever. You basically you pay, and when you pay, it checks if you've got a wallet.
Yeah.
It goes into and then goes away. Your API comes back and says yes, there's a wallet. They got £10 off, and it comes off the machine.
That's fantastic. That is actually one of the next steps as well for the wallet.
Is it?
I agree. I mean, not for Como. It's not in the roadmap. But I spoke to Basket. It was called.
Yeah. Pass entry
in the past. But that's fantastic. Sorry.
Yeah.
I spoke to Ben in the past, and I saw the value immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. It's just we couldn't accommodate it on the roadmap.
Yeah,
it's one of those things. At the moment,
it's one of those things. If a customer comes with 150 sites, whatever, and says I want this, then it gets put in. Which is the same with every other tech. Oh shit!
It went off.
Hello, that went off. My actual camera went off. I can't believe it. This is the first time the camera's gone off. We're still recording the voice, but the camera went off. Why did it go off? Is it been depleted? Let's have a look. Is it not plugged in? Hold on.
Let me check.
No, you're all right. It's all good. Let's do recording. That's on episode 20. Episode 20. I don't even know it's gone, but this is a recording, which is good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Episode 20, and my tech decides to screw up on me. Seriously,
Don't trust
I
tech.
cannot believe it. I am in, or I don't even know how long it's been off for. Same thing happened with Jonathan Blend. That just decided to turn itself off, and then I looked over and I was like, the camera's off. So we're going to have to flick to that one and then in. So apologies to people watching the video. I'll disappear for a bit.
For a few seconds.
For a few seconds. That's hilarious. I apologise. Okay. Wow. I got to give myself a round of applause for having great tech. It's plugged in. Anyway. Okay. Breathe, Adam, breathe. It's going to be fine. Okay. So, I mean, listen, we talked a load, to be honest with you. I mean, other questions about like innovations, which we were talking about already, which is great. I mean, are any other innovations you want to share?
AI related. We have things coming up with AI. We already have certain things related to AI, and it's only going to improve. I think AI will be a tool that will definitely assist marketeers to be more effective on everything they do. And I read somebody saying on LinkedIn the other day that the future of segmentation through AI is going to be segments of one person because everybody's different, right? So you just treat someone very differently to how you treat the next. That's gonna come off again.
No.
Okay.
I'm just keeping an eye on it. That's all. Right. That's sorry.
Okay.
But you're right. I think the other thing as well, looking at machine learning and AI is, and I spoke to another CRM company the other day, and they said that there's obviously lots of, at the moment here. There's lots of set and forgets. I'm really clever set and forgets with rules, and there's so much you can do from basket entries, and as you said with sentiment search, there's lots you can do. But using machine learning because some people would be like, they start with the basics. On fifth visit, give X.
Yes.
Right. But if they've visited 15 times, or they've been what you wouldn't give them on the 10th visit X. Yeah. So using AI, using machine learning to understand the return time generally across everyone. Yeah. And then you can set rules from there. And that was an American company. And they were like, and I was like, that's really interesting. So using just that to look at the data can really then enrich everything.
Definitely. Because what is X? X may be different from you.
Yes.
For me. The timing, the channel, pretty much everything should be different for everybody to increase the efficiency of that campaign.
I mean, and to be fair, the data you have is, and from the touchpoints and you mentioned, there's a lot of data.
It's everything. We've got basket data. We have even non-members data today, right? It's not related to the tokenization or anything like that.
Well, to be fair, as you said, you're right. So we still send non-opt-in data to Coma for the visit, and then when they do opt in, you're then able to see the true value of it.
Yeah, exactly. But the POS does the same. So the POS send us the transactions, and now we can compare members versus non-members transactions. Nice. Right? We can compare spend. Yeah. We can compare, like, is the loyalty scheme working? Because obviously the penetration rate is not enough. Yeah. Like, what does it mean to have like 100,000 people in the database? Yeah. If they're not using their loyalty. Yeah. Right. Maybe there's something wrong there. You gotta know who they are and how much of it they're using. So
it's really interesting. For Sorry, my brain's going crazy. I mean, loyalty, it's massive. Everyone's talking about it. You're on a WhatsApp group. You hear everyone talking about loyalty the whole time.
Yeah, it's trendy now. Thankfully.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah.
You're right. And also, I think there is a need for bringing people back to your business.
Yeah.
And also, there was a podcast the other day that were talking about loyalty and rewards, and is it bribery versus loyalty?
Yes.
So there's a surprise and delight, and there's just a bribery, and the bribe is like the stamp card style.
Yeah.
You know, which doesn't really work because people lose them the whole time and whatever it might be.
Open to fraud.
Right.
Later.
Yeah, seriously, I would, if I wasn't in the industry I was in, I would be going online to get them printed, and stamp it out.
Yeah.
100%. Or just cross it, because most people lose the stamp and they just cross it.
It is.
Not that I would ever do that, of course, but you're right, massively open to fraud. I think I was at a coffee shop the other day, and they had one of the scan things. I was like, oh, I'm going to test it.
Yeah.
I stood there in the queue and I scanned it 6 times, and he said, on your next visit, you get free coffee.
Yeah.
They didn't even know what, I mean, it was crazy, no integration.
Impossible to track. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, some of the restaurants that I go to in central London, like Shoryu, for example.
Yeah.
I love Japanese restaurants, by the way. And they still have that. And I guess it works for them. But to me, when I see it, it's like, wow, this is I wish I could show them Como just to see, just so they see the value of what they can do replacing this little piece of paper.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
You should do it.
I should.
Showroom. We could put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
And then you could, and they're going to reach out going, I can't believe they don't have.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They don't.
It's a big brand. It's a great brand.
Yeah.
It's a great brand. Yeah. I think that it's interesting. We've seen other clients that we work with that have built their own apps.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen other clients that have tried to do their own stuff. It's really hard on the adoption. And you mentioned about the apps as well. I think the wallet is definitely, one, it's easier. 2, apps get offloaded, obviously.
Yes.
Unless you're a regular. If you're a regular, then you'll use the app. Like Black Sheep, who we both work with.
Yep.
They have the app, but I prefer the wallet.
Me too.
Yeah.
I always prefer the wallet. Almost 100% of the time. Always, because it's my go-to place for everything. My flights are there. My the cards are there. Everything is there.
I've still got, I think, old flights still in there, to be honest with you. So, because people just forget that, because you can, I think, unlike the other stuff, it's offloaded, right? So it doesn't get offloaded, it stays there.
Yeah.
So the challenges I think I see for the wallet is when you hit over 10, there's that limitation, isn't there? I don't know why Apple, if you're listening, please allow more. But is it Apple, or is it? Because
I don't know. I've got an Android.
Yeah,
Android, I can have as many as I like. So I'm fine.
I think with Apple, I think it's a limit of 10 locations.
Oh, but that's for geolocation.
Yeah, geolocation.
Yeah, for geolocation, yes, there is a limitation of geolocation.
Yeah, which is upsetting, right?
I know. I just a way around it, I think. It's just Apple thing. There's many limitations with Apple when it comes to geolocation. So it's just that you cannot control the frequency.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you have like 20 wallets, 2 wallet passes.
Oh my god, yeah, I can imagine.
Apple has to decide. If you go to central London, they cannot really send you 20 push notifications.
Oh, really?
Right. Yeah. So they prioritize. I don't even know how. They don't share the information.
Yeah.
So Apple set the rules. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think I've only got a couple with geolocation enabled, to be honest with you, anyway.
Yeah.
And one of them happens to be that I've not been there for like a year.
Right.
Poker House.
Right.
There. And I still have the wallet, and I haven't removed it yet, and it annoyingly pops up.
Right.
Not that I don't like Poker House, it's great, but it's one thing, as you saw. I think the geolocate is handy. I think I wish there probably are more tools out there. I think I remember back in the day there were other ones with like beacons and bits and bobs. So I think maybe something to look at the dev team about plugging into maybe beacons.
We had before, actually.
So
we had them before.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but we don't have them anymore. I think maybe it's time to bring them back.
I think so. I think it'd be awesome, because originally, before Black Sheep had you, they had someone else, and they had them in every store.
Right.
And that, I don't know how much it helped, to be fair, because they were a bit more fragmented from there. Okay, so sorry, go on. For AI, when's that potentially happening-ish?
So we have a few things related to AI at the moment.
Yeah.
And it only can improve now. So we have, I don't know how long ago you've seen Como, but we have Camellia. I don't know if you remember.
No.
Camellia sends her own, not campaigns, but she decides what is the best person every week to get something. Right, so that is AI, is machine learning. So if Camellia tries you this week and you then react positively to it, then next quarter when she tries you again, she will try you in a bit different way.
Oh,
right, so we have stuff related to machine learning. We have the RFN model, which is like the like some kind of a proof of presence.
Yeah.
But also takes into consideration spend.
Yeah.
Right. So how much money you spend, how often you visit, and how recently you visited.
Nice.
So we can tell you exactly who champions are within your data. So the system tells you.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So what does that show on the dashboard as well?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
And also we have a business insights
Yeah.
where the system is telling you, hey, there's an opportunity for you here. So with 2 clicks, you can trigger the right campaign to the right people.
Oh, nice.
And those
So
business
it's basically
insights
showing you what you can, what the power of it, what you can do, rather than just going into dashboard, manually setting everything up.
Exactly.
You go in and go, actually, this will work. This could work for you.
Exactly. So you can set up the system, and the system can be reactive. So
Yeah.
a customer can if the customer does something, then you react. The system reacts, but also the system is proactive. It can tell you, hey, these customers here have potential to spend more money.
Yeah.
Based on the data that we are seeing.
Oh, nice.
Right, so 2 clicks, you can just target them in a very specific way.
Okay, that's really
So,
clever.
More stuff coming off.
I think that's that. Yeah, I think the more things you can do to make it easier for the customer is a challenge, because again, as you know, and as probably everyone else who listens, no one has time.
Yeah.
And that's a big challenge. I think it's so difficult, especially for smaller businesses specifically, but even bigger businesses, like, bigger ones won't necessarily have they might have the IT guy doing all of the marketing until they actually get marketing. So
I mean, the marketing people, they love it for a bigger business. So we have, for example, Insomnia Coffee. They have like 120 locations. They're super successful, and they use every tool we have. Every tool, and they love it.
Yeah.
It's really
Are they here? Or
they are in Ireland and in the UK.
Okay,
mainly
nice.
in Ireland. They're very well known in Ireland.
Yeah. So, I mean, to be fair, they are. I will say they're quite quick on adoption as well compared to here. I think I find it's really funny. A couple of people we speak to, including Red Cat as well. And I mentioned this the other day. He was like, "I wish people in the UK would be more frank." That's what do you mean? He goes, "Just be honest and say no, thank you." Because we speak to customers and they're like, yeah, this is awesome, this product's amazing, oh my god, yeah, let's get going, and then you have the drop off.
Yeah.
And he goes, I wish people would just be. He actually said, I wish you'd be ruder. Can you just be rude? Don't be like polite British. Just be frank out rude and say, not for me.
More Mediterranean, maybe. Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I like it. I like it when you guys are, to be honest. That's why I'm still here, for other reasons. So I like it, but you got to read between lines as well.
Yeah, of course.
And, politeness, something you shouldn't lose. I love it.
So in here, we are coming towards the end, and I told you it was easy. Nice
I was very
conversation.
nervous, by the way, before I started. So
You're a natural, man. You're a natural. So there is a question here about challenges and stuff. I mean, we talked about integrations. Have there been other challenges as well? I mean, now, again, you've hit against, there are new market players as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how are you finding that?
Well, competition is always something. I don't find it challenging, to be honest. I think it's a way to improve. It's the only way the market can improve, right? So I love my competitors. So if you guys are seeing me, it's not bad blood or anything. It's okay. If you win a business and I lose them, I take a lesson. So this is good. It's the way I go to my team, to the R&D, and say, hey guys, we lost them because of X, Y, Z. So it's one of the only ways to improve. Right? So
I love that.
Can be proactive.
Yeah, you're learning.
You learn it. It's a learning curve, and that's the only way to get better. Right, so competition keeps
on your toes.
Market improving, really.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, to be fair, we talked about the future as well. To be fair, are there anything else coming that you can
no,
maybe
that's
share?
the only two things I wanted to talk about: tokenization and AI.
Nice. They're two pretty big things to talk about. Okay, so we have hit the end. I'm going to give you a little round of applause. There you go. Well done. Other than I'll give myself a round of applause for the camera going off, which is bloody annoying. So let's go to the last questions. So we have best restaurant.
Best restaurant. So funny enough, I have Roca. I don't because you mentioned them, but because I got it written.
Did you?
I thought about, okay, what do I like? So Roca, I love it. Shoryu.
Yes.
So I can't decide. I mean, is it different?
You can have both.
I can have both.
Yeah,
okay,
of course.
perfect. So both. So
who did I speak to the other day? Who came in last? Tommy. He was also like a big fan. He's like, but the bill. He goes,
Yeah.
I said to him that if you want to go to Roca and have the same style as Roca, but don't want to have the same bill as Roca, Incognito, which is part of the Zumi group in Soho by Kingly Court,
really
is theirs, and it is awesome.
I'll try it.
So definitely one to try.
There
you go. Yeah, definitely. Best burger.
So I'll say either. Again,
You can have
just burgers. I love burgers, right? So either patty and bun, or honest burgers.
Okay, interesting. Is it the Ari Gold for patty and bun? Is that or is it something different?
It is the Ari Gold.
Yeah.
I use all of them really. I tried a few things and it's just, I love them all really.
Yeah.
I'm a bit burger person, so
Yeah.
I love it.
I will have to broaden your horizon. I actually said to Tommy when he came here before you last week, I said, I wish National Burger Day was back.
Yeah.
Because that was awesome, because all of them were there. And I would overeat, obviously, because, you know, I love my burgers as well. But it was nice to see the newer people coming in. And then you had like special editions. And it was like 700 people in like an open space. And he was like, we definitely need to try and bring it back. So hopefully Tommy can help with that. But I think I think that'd be amazing.
Let's say this in every podcast. Let's bring it back. So,
well, the thing is, I think it was run by Mr. Hyde, who was an online magazine.
Ah, yes.
And they went, and they're gone. But you know what? Doesn't stop anyone else from either calling it a different name, because it's probably trademarked. And also all the street feast places have gone.
Right, yes.
So, but there are others like, you know, Hackney Bridge and Pop Brixton who are big open spaces. So I think, we need to find a big open space. Maybe
We'll find a way.
Yeah, Hyde Park
maybe.
Como can sponsor it. Okay. Best hotel.
So last time I went to Dubai, because part of my team is in Dubai, that was in February, I think, February, March, I can't remember. So I stayed in Taj Hotel, so Indian-owned place, really cool, lovely, with a pool in the one of the floors above.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, there's actually, what?
Is it 15th floor or something?
Wow.
More, sorry. It's 30th or something.
More like the 190th floor.
No, not that much, but it was really cool. I loved it. I loved the food and the breakfast and the service. It was beautiful. Love that.
What did you find the difference between hospitality in Dubai versus here?
Well, the hospitality in Dubai, the service is unbeatable.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this in my life. Yeah, it's a great place.
I think so. I think we were talking again to a couple of Australian people, and they were saying that in Australia they go into hospitality for a career, and I think that's quite similar for outside the UK. I think it definitely is in the UK as well, because we've got loads of clients who provide the most amazing service. But I think Dubai has really, from what I've spoken to other people that I know out there as well, it is just
It's fantastic.
it's about the experience.
So Dubai offers quite a lot. So it offers everything. You can eat anything, like in London, in a way. But the service, I'm not saying that the service in London is bad, but Dubai is so excellent.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard to find a place with that level of service. Everywhere you go, it's really good.
Yeah, to be fair, it is very tourist driven as well. So
Yeah.
they're going to have to want to make that. Here is locals as well as tourists. I think there is a lot more tourists than the locals. Okay,
why.
we are at the end. So I'm going to give you another round of applause.
Very good. Thank you
So,
very much.
and I have two questions for the next guest, and they could be anyone from hospitality to marketing to operators. I don't even know who I have next, because it's crazy.
Okay, 2 seconds.
No, take your time. Technology challenges.
Exactly. It's just my password. I'm too nervous. I'm not ready anymore. So I think one would be, what's the best system that they use or they've ever used for the business?
Yep.
And how do they use technology to deliver a great customer service today?
That's nice.
So those 2 questions.
That's nice. Okay, so give everyone a wave. This is Ruben from Como. How can they find you? Don't give your email. But how can people find you?
Yeah. So if you just go como.com and then you just register your details there, or you can email me, ruben@como.com.
Okay, there we go. Or you can find him on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
As well. Amazing. All right, thank you so much for coming. This is Ruben from Como.
Thank you, Adam.
Episode 20, yay! I was about to do this.
There we go.
All right, awesome. See you guys.